So today my group and I are going to be presenting about millennials. So first of all, so what are the age of millennials? So it's between 27 to 42 years old, and they are born between 1980s to 1994.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the differences. So now the main difference here is the use of social media. As like our parents mainly, they depend more on Facebook, WhatsApp. They're not more of a TikTok people or Instagram, and that is something that is highly different than other generations. And then there's also a gap when it comes to ideology. Now I realize that millennials are somehow stereotypical, and I can give examples. Like, if you go out of the house and you saw a crow, that means your entire day is going to be filled with bad luck, or you can't step on the crack of the pave, and all those kind of things.
So, the pros of millennials is that first, they have a higher sense of responsibility. This is because a lot of job opportunities were taken by them at the time, so they had more sense of responsibility. And then not only that, because like Ira said about the ideology, because they have a stronger stance in terms of what they think is right and what they think is wrong. So it's harder for them to, so it's like harder for other people to actually try to change what they think.
So for cons for millennials, one of them they are hard-minded, so they have their own stance. So they are very firm with them, and it's quite hard to change their opinion on something sometimes. And also some of them are lower adaptable to tech. So as you can see, they are 27 to 42 years old for millennials. So the younger ones, they are adapting, but then the older ones, they are slowly adapting to technology. But then they are still adapting.
Okay, so next is involvement in technology. So as we said before, the millennials is not really adaptable to technology. But on the other hand, they are the one who invent the technology. For example, Facebook by Mark Zuckerberg. He's the one that invent one of the technology which we use, but he's a millennials. Yeah. So next.
Yeah, and then one of the recent studies that we found is about how millennials are more workaholics compared to other generations, and I think this is a balance between the two generations. And because baby boomers, they face a lot of economic recession, and then economic recession is when millennials are students, if I'm not mistaken. So when they grow up, they have a higher sense of economy and about how accumulating wealth is not an easy thing. And compared to Gen Zs, they have like, I feel like we're more like exposed to infrastructure, to this and that, and it makes us think that life is maybe not that hard. And then lastly, when it comes to education, millennials have the highest rate of postgraduates, high school graduates. Like, they have the lowest rate of high school dropouts, and I think that also relates with the fact that they are workaholics.
Okay.
Questions?
That's all finished already?
Yes.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, that's great. Okay, now let's move on to questions, guys.
I have one question. So my question is, why do the millennials prefer to use Facebook and WhatsApp over TikTok or Instagram?
It's actually a chronology factor, because before TikTok and like Musically, those kind of things are invented, Facebook was one of the first, done by Mark Zuckerberg. He was the first one to actually create coding that can develop an app. So that's why they depend that more, because that was the only source that you can use.
Alright, thank you.
What do you think is the distinctive value between baby boomers and like millennials? Because sometimes we like don't know what's the difference between them. So what do you think it is?
Okay, so a recent study said that millennials had has a higher tendency to job hopping, which means they have so I think compared to baby boomers they live during economic recession, so they have a higher loyalty to their company instead of the millennials. Yeah.
Next.
Let's go.
Camera focus this group.
Roger.
Boys, please ask something.
Do you have a reason why millennials tend to be workaholics compared to other generations?
I just stated the reason actually.
Can you repeat the reason?
So it revolves around economic recession. So baby boomers, their recession is when they're working adults. But then recession happens for millennials when they're students. Hence why they have a higher sense of responsibility when it comes to work, because they don't want their elderlies or the younger ones to face what they faced when they were students.
Okay, next question.
Do you think millennials can survive easily in today's society, or is it quite hard for them to survive?
I think in my opinion, they would survive finely better than us mostly because they have better work ethics than us. So I think that will, if you have a good work ethics, you can always survive in any work.
True.
That's all.
Any other questions? No more questions? And I think about millennials, you guys missed out some of the parts about the marriages, the divorces. Millennials are mostly singles. Like